in the year, even when you guys started 1-7, it's like, just wait till February. We're going to get it figured out. How does it feel to kind of watch this process and see that you guys did get it figured out?
I think the guys in the locker room, we knew all along that that we can be a team that can make a run and do something. I think it did just take longer than we all had expected to really gel together, being a new team. But I think it's just we really like being around each other. We like playing together, so that all helps.
How much trust did you have as a player who came with Coach from Augustana to come down and kind of provide, even though you're an underclassman, but some leadership just to say, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's going to get us going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think for Coach, his accolades speak for himself. It's just it didn't really take much convincing to get me to come down here with him from Augustana. I've always kind of believed in his vision for me and for the rest of the team, and I think everybody else believes in what he sees too.
I asked Chris after the game because he and Devin are the only ones who have been up to Kansas City. So they didn't play, but they kind of know what's going on. How excited are you as a brand new player to get up and see the MIAA tournament for the first time?
I'm excited. The team's excited. We're excited to get a chance, kind of a fresh start in the postseason, to show what we can do in that cool arena there.
All right, Caroline.
Dallas, something that Coach said just a few minutes ago was that getting to the tournament is great. That's kind of step one, but it's not saying, okay, yep, we made it here. We can relax. It's like, okay, let's go beyond that. How do you guys maintain that mindset when you get to this point in the season?
I think for us, it's just we've kind of been the underdog all year, and I think keeping that mindset going into the tournament, understanding that it's not just we made it. It's like because we truly believe that we can get to the tournament and really do something there.
Yeah, and this group being so young and just learning things about each other throughout the course of the season, you being a transfer guys coming from different areas, how have you guys just kind of put it together in this last little stretch of the season and gotten to the point where you mentioned it's kind of a new start, the postseason? How have you guys taken what you learned to propel you towards the end and then now get to the start of this new kind of beginning in the MIAA tournament?
I think with us just being like a brand new team, we kind of learned how to win. We've learned how to lose together, and I think just going through those ups and downs that we went through in December and January, I think it's really benefited us going down the stretch here and as we get to Kansas City for the conference tournament on Wednesday.
Yeah, is there anything that jumps out to you just from having played Oklahoma a couple weeks ago?
I think they're a great team that we're obviously going to have to prepare for and be ready to play against. And it's a great opportunity for us to try and win that game and then see what we can do from there.
Thank you.
Andrew.
Hey, Dallas, what's the confidence level like in the locker room? How do you guys feel heading into Kansas City?
We're pretty confident. Ever since we started to get on our little run here the last few games, we had the hiccup in Newman, but we all really believe in each other. So I think our confidence level is pretty high in that locker room right now.
What's the biggest thing that you guys need to do? Like, if you had to pinpoint one area, whether it's rebounding or transition points or limiting turnovers, like what do you think that kind of is that thing that's going to get you to the next round?
Next round, I think it starts today. Preparing for UCO and starting to get locked in right now and prepared for what they're going to bring on Wednesday. They're athletic team. They rebound. Rebound is another big thing for them. I think they hurt us on the glass the first game. So I think just being prepared to get on the glass and starting to prepare and locking in for that game right now.
Awesome. That's it, Don.
All right. Thank you much. Dallas, you're good.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Well, Coach, this was a big goal for you to get to Kansas City in your first year. How does it feel to have finally gotten there?
Well, we took a roundabout route. We sure didn't make it easy on ourselves. When we were 4-13 and 1-7 in the league, I was thinking about going to Kansas City to recruit. Not for MIAA games. I was going to go watch kids play. Happy that we had the little bit of a turnaround mid to late season that we had, and really postseason has changed in the NCAA a little bit. These conference tournaments have become postseason. I know then you have the NCAA tournament. And trust me, I get the difference. But postseason is postseason, and being able to be in this tournament definitely allows us the opportunity to, our year was interesting, but you end on a positive note no matter what.
You were confident, though, the whole year. So now we're going to be a tough out in February, even when things weren't going. And you were right. What gave you that confidence?
Some of that could be a lot of baloney. There could be a lot of reasons for that. No, I knew. I get to see it every day in practice. I get to see our guys' improvement. I could see us. To be honest about it, I can remember telling you, even after a game off there, I'd say, you could see we're doing things better. We're running our offense better. We're doing things better. We're just not there yet. But they kept getting more comfortable, not only with what we do, but with each other. And it just kept going. And we didn't have bad practices. We didn't have a down part of the year. We were 1-7, and we just kept trying to get better. I think what helps, and I've done this for a long time, is being so new. I think if you'd had this group for 3 or 4 years and you're 1-7, they might be hanging up the sneakers, getting the cleats on, ready to go out for track. They were not that, and they're so new, and every game was kind of a new adventure. I think that probably helped us a little bit.
Well, last thing from me, in terms of how you approach tournaments, you've got a system for everything, and you've been in a ton of tournaments in the Northern Sun back when you were an assistant coach, and certainly regional tournaments in the NCAA tournament. How do you approach things differently in March?
That's a good question. I learned a lot as a coach. I used to try to, we're going to change this or do something a little different because they've played us twice. A lot of teams you play back then used to play 2 or even 3 times, depending on the regional, if you played them in the tournament. And so our guys would just be like, it would just screw them up. They're thinking so much. And we're just going to we are who we are right now, and we're going to do what we can do. My goodness, it took us probably 2/3 of the year to learn what we were doing. How am I going to change a whole lot? We're just happy we're fairly all on the same page at this time. So we'll just simply keep doing what we do. It's funny, we played Central Oklahoma only a month ago, but it seems longer. In fact, I hardly even remembered the game watching the film today. Then it was kind of like, but it's kind of funny because this year, to me, has just kind of been a big whole bowl of a season. I don't really remember individual things very much as just the entire process.
Caroline.
Yeah, Coach, what jumps out to you? You said you watched film today, but what's something that jumps out to you about Central Oklahoma just on first glance?
They're good in transition, Caroline. I'll tell you that. They're going to get out. They're going to push it. They have a bunch of guys that can score. They're athletic. They're very good offensive. They can rebound. You're going to have to keep them off the glass. Their coach is actually one of the few who's been around the block a few more times than me, so he's got a fairly good idea of what he's doing. And I'm sure they'll be very excited about being in postseason as well. They change up defenses. I mean, they do a lot of things, and it's all things that a couple months ago would have given us trouble. I think we're okay now, but I think it's a team that you prepare for them, but they can do different things, and they do them well.
And because you have such a young group, and you touched on this a little bit, but what have you been telling your guys, to get them prepared for postseason basketball, and also does it help to be playing a team that you guys have already seen in the first round pretty recently?
Yeah, I don't know how. I'll answer it backwards. I having already played them, we're such a different team even than a month ago, and I know we played pretty well against them. But I think we're even different than we were 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. I really do. And so that part of it, no matter what you were going to play somebody, I think it's kind of nice that we only played them once. I'd almost rather play a team you played once than twice first round. So I think I like that part. Caroline, what our team, it's been interesting. We've been having this talk for the last 4 or 5 games that we can't afford to lose, maybe one of them. We didn't think we could lose very many more games and continue to be, playing to be in the tournament. And so really our focus has been more about one game at a time and really focusing, making sure we're not looking past that game, but realizing what was at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel was to get to where we are now. To build onto your question that you didn't quite ask, but I think what's dangerous is we can't just sit here now and go, we made it. Yeah, we made it. We need to play even better. We got to go out with an edge. We're the 9th seed. They're the 8th. We can't just sit here and go, we made it and just be happy to be here. We're going to have to play our best basketball, and I expect that of our guys, and they're going to know that today at practice is we've got to have every bit of the intensity and do the things we did to help us win 7 of our last 11 games.
That's all from me. Thanks, Coach.
Caroline, thank you.
Andrew.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Lind, Sports Director, WIBW.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You just mentioned how you got to the tournament. You can't wean off, but I think there's something to say about having a clean slate mentality. I mean, yes, you got to still have an edge, but I feel like when you get into tournament play, there is a little bit of pressure to perform. How do you kind of have that conversation of wanting to have an edge, but still knowing that this is a bigger situation? It's a tournament setting. We're going to be playing in front of a different different fan bases, different crowds. So it's like you want the edge, but then you also kind of want to play freely and not feel like every single possession has to be perfect.
It's interesting. It'd be fun to go back in time, Division I, where everybody has seen more games and see the kind of coaches. Because it's an argument both ways. All right, let's give Ben McCullum. Okay, there's a guy that scripts every play. They know every single thing they're going to do. You could say, well, he has 4-year kids with him. They're playing at a much higher level, but they've had great success. But that same team has been winning for what? He's won his league like 13 years in a row or some ridiculous figure. And so he's a very controlling, scripted coach who has a ton of success so far in the postseason. It'll be interesting to see how he does at this level that he's at. Then you have, there's other teams that I don't want to name a coach because they might take it as offensive, but they really and truly, like people used to say Guy V. Lewis at Houston. Well, that's wrong because he was a phenomenal coach. I actually was able to go to his practice. But they all said, oh, he just rolls out the ball. But his teams were great in postseason. They just went and played, and they were loose, and they loved it. And so I think there's a fine line. I think when I was a younger coach, I made my guys really nervous, and I wanted it so badly for them. And I think we're funny. We would always lose in our we've only won our conference tournament championship in my career like 2 times. Now we've been to the regional 13, and we've only lost a first-round regional game 1 time. We've always at least won our first game. So sometimes I always felt like us getting that loss in the tournament kind of settled us down because we've always been a very good team in the regional. At my previous stops, that's both North Dakota State and Augie. That wasn't just the one place. I mean, both times we were 4 times NCAA regional at North Dakota State. I think it's what I've learned through the years is to you can't approach it as another game. I agree with what you said. It is March Madness. It is fun to be in the tournament. You want them to enjoy that part of it. But in the end, my practice today is not going to be any different than it was last Monday. It's going to be the same. This is what got us to where we are. Just concentrate on what we do, playing hard, and good things will happen. It's what you have to do.
If you had to go back to, October, early November to now, what's the biggest thing that you've learned about your team? I mean, I know that's a very broad question, but if you had to pinpoint a couple things that maybe you've learned in the recent weeks about how they compete or their resiliency, or I'll let you.
It's a really good question. It's a hard question because we were different early than late due to injuries. All teams have that. I've had different starting lineups. I mean, I'll tell you a key. I don't mind saying it. We had a kid named Chris Harris playing the 4, being a frontline player for us, and he's not a frontline player. But I didn't know that. He's 6'8", 6'9". He's our second. He even at the wing now, he does jump balls. And so I had to learn him. I had to coach him. He had to fit, a little bit of what we do, but I had to fit him. And he's been a big change for us. Chris has really made a big difference in our success. And we've gone all the way around from him being a frontline player, not playing a whole lot because we didn't think he was quite strong enough yet, wished he'd be in the weight room more, to I'm running plays to win games with him, and at the perimeter. I think, all of our guys brought something very special because there's always something special. Every person in the world has something they do special. But I had to figure out the things that maybe weren't so special that could still help us win. And I think we did that over time. I'm a different coach, and I have a phenomenal staff. And all we do is talk basketball. That's all we do. I don't have hobbies, and I know but I really am one of those coaches. We sit around, and all we do 24/7 is figure out our team. We're kind of stupid because we'll be like, oh gosh, he's dating her. That's probably distracting him, or this is. I mean, like we bring all the crap into play, and I think kids are looking. I don't even think they think about half the stuff that we talk about, But that's all we do. And so I think the consistency of us as a staff doing what we do, but maneuvering and manipulating our offense a little bit to fit the players that were here, and the new guys we brought in is. It's really been fun. It's actually been the big part of the process. It's like a puzzle, and it's why you coach. But It's frustrating at times, but overall, from where we are, from when we first played Colby in a scrimmage here, that I think they beat us one of the halves, to where we are now. We've had great gains. We're a much better basketball team.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Good questions.
Well, good. All right. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Yeah, nice to meet you. Those were great. Enjoyed talking to you.